On the 20th of March 2014, in Update 12.5, the Helios Sentinel was introduced into Warframe. The Sentinel launched with the ability to scan any character, item, and object for the player if they had a sufficient amount of Codex or Synthesis scanners in their inventory, as well as having the Precept mod Investigator equipped onto the Sentinel. The mod would retain its ability to scan the aforementioned items for close to 5 years. However, on the 10th of January 2019, DE released hotfix 24.2.7, which removed the ability for Helios to scan the memory fragments hidden within the game's recently released landscape, the Orb Valis. The change, once noticed by the community, picked up traction, and players were quick to share their concerns within the patch note replies and on the Warframe subreddit and Warframe forums. One player on Twitter by the name of EC Delacroix had sent a tweet to DE Pablo on the 10th of January asking about the change and highlighted the discrepancies that came along with it, as Helios could still scan the Thousand-Year Fish located within the plains of Eidolon, a function that had been available since the launch of the expansion in October of 2017, which is evidenced by Annoying Killer's location guide for the Thousand-Year Fish. Her tweet was met with the following response by DE Pablo. I think it doesn't auto-scan fishes in the plains of Eidolon. The changes was to make it consistent with that, if I recall correctly. Delacroix responded with a link to players stating that Helios could scan the Thousand-Year Fish via the Investigator Precept, and Pablo responded with K, we'll get someone to take a look and fix the fish. In response to this, Delacroix commented, you said you changed it to be consistent with the fish, then why now you want to change the fish? In response, Pablo tweeted, now they will be consistent. Thank you for the bug report. Which in response received numerous tweets from players outlining further discrepancies, as Helios could scan Cephalon fragments, Somachord tones, and frame fighter character data, while also commenting that they are making more work for themselves if they were to remove the ability for Helios to scan the other fragments in the game. In a separate but connected thread, a player by the handle of Andrew Singleton commented, so why even have Helios if you're going to decide, well, no, he won't be allowed to scan this. This is, in my opinion, a stupid decision to not allow Helios to actually do the thing he is designed for, in which Delacroix responded because he's too proud to admit his mistakes. Singleton continued, I realize most people that play Warframe won't have the level of poor vision I have, but taking a tool that makes the ability to realistically do these collection quests without getting a team together so other people can waypoint is fairly insulting feeling. Pablo responded, I made sure a bug got fixed, bud. If you want changes to the design of this feature, you're barking up the wrong tree. You should post in the forums. In response, Singleton continued further explaining his position. Listen, bud, revert the change. That's all we want. Hell, it's all I want since I have no luck seeing these damn things that are white on a white background with a lot of bright around them. With glasses, I have at best 20 to 250 vision. Helios gives me an option on how to do these fiddly scanning things in an already visually cluttered environment. You are actively making the game worse for me. To which there was no reply from Pablo. On the 11th of January, a player by the name of Kay Campbell sent a tweet to Pablo with the following. The consistent fix you're doing for Helios about the lore fragments on the Orb Valis and Plains of Eidolon makes it inconsistent with the other fragments. Helios is really helpful for players such as I who have a hard time trying to find these things, who are hardly visible on a scanner as is. Pablo's final tweet about the Helios change in reply to this tweet follows. Haha, how did I get roped into this thing? It's what I get for trying to answer a question I don't enough about. You should post in the forums and community team can get your feedback to whoever is in charge. There were also 2 posts that reached the front page of the Warframe subreddit, pushing for a revert or at least adjustments to the decision, with one post asking for a revert, but when it comes to the lore fragments, players would have to be closer than usual for Helios to start scanning. The second post was from the aforementioned Twitter user who had poor vision, once again sharing his experiences and thoughts on why Helios' ability to scan the fragment should be reconsidered. The general response from the players was that the change was not needed and perverted the original function for the Investigator Precept, even if it was only one fragment. On the 16th of January 2018, after the constructive posts and discussions around the change by the community, and according to the patch notes internal feedback from DE, they reverted the change and restored the Sentinel scanning functionality to the Orb Valis memory fragments, commenting, we're keeping this a bug-turned feature. Anyway, that concludes this video. As for my thoughts on this situation, I was glad to have it reverted. It definitely could have gone the other way, with DE doubling down on their decision, but they didn't this time, and I'm glad we can have that reverted.